Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Hi, Mitali, how are you?
Sir, I'm fine. What's about you?
I'm good. Thank you. Thank you so much for responding first. Hi, Arman. Hi, Bharat.
Hello.
Hi, Ayushi. Okay, so we'll begin the session. Hello, everyone. This is Abhishek Day, Quant faculty at Career Launcher. And today I'll take you through the entire SAT journey, in which I'll explain what is SAT, what type of questions are there, what are the topics that are evaluated. Okay, just be with me. Just confirm the screen is visible. Is the screen visible?
Yes, sir.
Hmm. Okay. So in this session, we will discuss about the overview of the digital SAT, changes that we have seen from the old and the new SAT, the SAT scoring and the test format, topics that are evaluated in the new SAT, important strategies, and we'll discuss some topics as well. Clear? Oh. So in SAT, there are two sections, and each section has two modules. So one is reading and writing section. The next one is math section. There are two different modules in reading and writing section, and similarly two different modules in the math section. Okay. There are a total of 27 questions in each module of the RN reading and writing section. That makes a total of 54 questions, for which you'll get 64 minutes. 32 minutes in each section. 32 minutes in each module. Similarly, in the math section, there are two different modules, module 1 and module 2. 22 questions in each module. That makes a total of 44 questions, and you'll get 35 minutes in each module, which makes a total of 70 minutes. Okay. So the new SAT is now just 2 hours of 2 hours and 14 minutes. Your score will range from 400 to 1600. If I talk about the reading and writing section, there are 64 questions for which you will get 50. Sorry, there are 54 questions for which you'll get 64 minutes, which is approximately 1.2 minutes per question, which has now increased. Okay. There are total 44 questions in the math section for which you get 70 minutes, which is approximately 1.6 minutes per question. Okay. The new SAT, digital SAT format is now adaptive. That means the second module of each section will depend on how good or bad you have performed in the first module. Let's suppose you have performed well in the first module of the reading and writing section. You will get slightly difficult questions on the second module of reading and writing section, and hence you'll score better. Okay. Now, if I talk about the topics that are tested on the SAT are algebra, advanced maths, problem solving and data analysis, and geometry. In algebra, we cover topics like linear equations, inequalities, and functions. In advanced maths, we solve questions on equivalent expressions, non-linear equations in one variable, that is cubic or biquadratic, and system of equations in two variables, that is linear equations in two variables. The next one is problem solving and data analysis, in which we solve questions on rates, ratios, proportional relationships, directly proportional, inversely proportional, units, percentage changes, one variable data as in distribution and measure of center and spread, that is your standard deviation and variance. Then we discussed different type of graphs like scatter plot, box and whisker plot, probability and conditional probability. In geometry and trigonometry. In geometry, we covered all the properties of lines and angles, triangles, circles, all the different types of triangles, properties based on tangents. And if I talk about mensuration, we cover all the areas and formulas for areas and volumes of all known 2D and 3D figures. Okay. Let's start with a small topic. Okay. How many of you are in class 12th?
So I am in 12th.
You're in 12th. Arman and Mitali?
Yeah, I'm under
12th.
12th.
Mitali, 12th?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then you all must have studied complex numbers.
Yeah.
Anyone? Okay. Tell me, what is real number? What is a real number? What do we mean by real numbers? Simply all numbers which are not complex are real numbers. Right?
I am in 11th.
Numbers which are not complex are real numbers? Yes, no?
Yes.
The correct definition of real numbers is any number that can be plotted on a number line are real numbers, or any two numbers are real numbers if a comparison can be drawn between them, that whether first one is less than or equal to the second one. Clear? Okay. The real numbers are further divided into two parts. One is rationals, rational numbers. The next one is irrational numbers. Okay. What are rational numbers? Anyone? Any idea what are rational numbers?
Yeah. So they don't like continue like infinitely. They have like a certain limit to the decimals.
You're talking about the decimal representations, right?
Yeah.
Okay. That is one property of rational numbers. Absolutely correct. Anything else about rational numbers? Okay. Let me tell you. Numbers which are either in the form of P by Q or can be written in the form of P by Q, where both P and Q are integers. Q is not equal to 0. And HCF of P comma Q is 1. Now, what do we mean by HCF of P comma Q is equal to 1? It means that the highest common factor between P and Q is 1, which is P by Q is in its simplest form. There is no other common factor between P and Q other than 1. Clear? Okay. So irrational numbers. All real numbers except rationals are irrationals. All real numbers except rational numbers are irrational numbers. Majorly, you have to focus on numbers like root 2, root 3, root 5, root 6, and so on. I intentionally missed root 1 and root 4 because root 1 is 1, root 4 is 2, root 9 is 3, and so on. So these numbers are not irrational, they are rationals. Numbers which are stuck inside the square root are majorly considered to be irrational. The decimal representation of rational numbers are one of these two types. Either they are terminating or if they are non-terminating, then they repeat. Right? Now, if I talk about the decimal representation of irrational numbers, then these are of only one type. That is, they neither terminate nor repeat. Now, what do you mean by this? Let's take 1 by 2. What is 1 by 2? 0.5. That's it. It ends. Okay. If I talk about non-terminating repeating, 4 by 3. It's 1.3333 and so on. It doesn't terminate, but it repeats. Okay. But if I consider root 3, this is 1.732 something, 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 and so on. It will neither terminate nor repeat. Clear till here? Okay. Let's go ahead. Rational numbers are further divided into two types. One is fraction, the other one is integers. How many different types of integers do we have? Integers are further divided into three types: positive integers, negative integers, and 0. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. These are positive integers. Negative integers are -1, -2, -3, -4, and so on. And 0 is neither negative nor positive. Clear? Okay. Now, how many of you know about odd integers and even integers? Ayushi, what are odd and even?
All integers are those because this cannot be divided by and even are its number which can be divided by.
Sorry, you're not audible.
All integers cannot be divided by and even integers cannot be divided.
All integers are those integers which are not divisible by 2, whereas even integers are those integers which are divisible by 2. Like 1, 3, 5, 7, and so on. Similarly, -1, -3, -5, and so on. Even are whereas numbers which are integers which are divisible by 2, like 2, 4, 6, and so on. -2, -4, -6, and so on. 0 is neither negative nor positive, but 0 is an even integer. Clear? Now let's learn some properties. What do we get when we add two even integers? What do we get when we add two even integers?
Even.
Always?
Even.
Okay. So even plus even is always even. What is odd plus odd? What is odd plus odd?
Even.
Even.
Very good. And what is even plus odd? Anyone?
Odd.
Always?
or
Hmm.
or
So even plus odd is always odd. Okay, what about even into even?
even
Even into even is even. Okay. What about even into odd?
even
Hmm. And what about odd into odd?
Odd.
Odd. Now see, sum of two integers is even if either both of them are even or both of them are odd. Correct? Whereas sum of two integers is odd if exactly one of them is even and the other one is odd. Clear? Whereas product of two integers is even if at least one of them is even. Whereas the product of two integers is odd if both of them are odd. Clear? Okay, now very simple thing. What is positive into positive? What is positive into positive?
Positive.
Very good. What is negative into negative?
Also positive.
Okay. What is positive into negative?
Negative.
negative
Negative.
negative
Product of two integers is positive if either both of them are positive or both of them are negative. Whereas product of two integers is negative if exactly one of them is positive and the other one is negative. Clear?
yes
Okay. Now, okay, let me take you through a question. If x and y are odd consecutive integers such that x into x plus 1 is 0, then what is x plus y? Can you solve this? Try once. Anya, can we get the recording of this session? But why do you want the recording of this session, Anya? You're busy somewhere? Okay, no issues. So someone from, oh, you just joined the class. You did not miss a lot of things. Don't worry. Do you have any question from this particular slide? You can unmute and you can talk. Anya?
Yes, sir.
Hello? Okay, let's try to solve this question then. If x into x plus 1 is 0, then product of two integer is 0. X plus y is odd. No, Ayushi, x plus y is not odd. If x into x plus 1 is 0, then at least one of them is 0. Correct? Either x is 0 or x plus 1 is 0. Now, x can definitely, Anya. I'll definitely get in touch with someone who can send you the recordings. Don't worry. Okay. So now, product of two integer is 0. That means at least one of them is 0. Either x is 0 or x plus 1 is 0. Correct? Now, x can never be 0. Why? Because x is an odd integer and 0 is an even integer. So this is something that is not possible. Now x plus 1 is 0. That means x is equal to minus 1. Clear? If x is equal to minus 1, x and y are odd consecutive integers. That means y can either be 1 or minus 3. Not a great score, but we can definitely work on it. Okay. Now minus 1 and 1. So if x is equal to minus 1, y can either be 1 or minus 3. So the sum can either be minus 1 plus 1, which is 0, or minus 1 minus 3, which is minus 4. Clear? Yes or no? Okay. Ayushi, clear? Yes, no? Okay, let's go to the next one. What are prime numbers? What are prime and composite? Prime numbers are those numbers which have exactly two factors, 1 and the number itself. Like 2, 4, sorry, 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17, 19, 23, 29, and so on. So these numbers are known as prime numbers. Why? Because they have only two factors, 1 and the number itself. Composite numbers are those numbers, absolutely correct. Prime are not divisible by any other number except 1 and itself. Composite numbers have more than two factors. Numbers like 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 12, 14, 15, 16, and so on. Okay. Now, few properties. One is neither prime nor composite. The next one is 2 is the smallest prime. The third one is 2 is the only even prime. Clear? Yes or no? Okay. Let me take you to a question again. If x is sum of first 100 primes, then what is -1 raised to the power x plus -1 raised to the power 500x plus -1 raised to the power x plus 500? Can you solve this? Give it a shot. Come on, give it a shot. It's not that difficult. Okay, what about others? Okay, let's see. If x the sum of first 100 prime numbers except 2, every other prime number is an odd number, correct? Except 2, every other prime number is an odd number. That means out of these 100 primes, one of them is 2, the other ones are odd. How many are there? 99. Sum of 99 odd integers is again going to be odd, correct? So odd plus 2. What is odd plus 2? It is again odd. So x is odd. -1 raised to the power odd. -1 raised to the power. 500 is even. X is odd. 500 into x is going to be even into odd is even. Then we have -1 raised to the power. X is odd. Odd plus 500. 500 is even. Odd plus even is odd. So -1 raised to the power odd is -1. -1 raised to the power even is 1. And -1 raised to the power odd is again -1. The answer is -1. Clear? Any idea? Sorry, any doubts? Done? No. Let me take you to the last question of today's session. Before that, can anyone please tell me what are the topics that we have completed so far? Can anyone please unmute and tell me what are the topics that we have done? Ayushi, can you?
Sir, we have done codes, rational number.
You're not at all audible. let me tell you. We have covered all different types of numbers, odd, even, prime, composite. Correct? Now, using the knowledge of all three, try to answer this question. Which of the following cannot be expressed as sum of two primes? 31, 33, 35, 39, 43.
Sir, the answer is B, 33.
33.
Yes, sir.
Okay, what about others?
35.
Okay. Anyone else? See, first observation. All the options are odd, correct? I'm in search of two primes whose sum is odd in this case. That means one is definitely even and the other one is odd. That's the only case where the sum of two integers is odd. Correct? Yes, no. See? Okay? Anyone? Any doubt? Okay. Now next step. We are in search of an even prime and an odd prime. The only even prime that we have is 2. That means one of these two primes is definitely 2. This is 2 plus 31, 29. This is 2 plus 31. This is 2 plus 37. And this is 2 plus 41. Now 29, 31, 37 and 41. All four of them are primes. Hence 31, 33, 39 and 43 can be expressed as sum of two primes. But 35 is 2 plus 33. 33 is not a prime number. And hence 35 cannot be expressed as sum of two primes. Clear, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Any doubt? So that was all about the SAT topics, the type of questions that you will see in SAT. You don't have to do a lot of complex calculations. What you need to focus on is the basics and the properties. So for SAT, it is always logic over memorizing formulas. Okay? It is never about memorizing formulas or doing complex calculations. It is always about using different properties and logics to solve the question. Clear? Now, is there anyone who has any kind of doubt? Ayushi, Arman, Javed? Anyone? Okay. So in that case, that's all for today. Thank you so much, Ayushi. So please take care. Bye, guys.